We're about to step into the shadows of art history to uncover secrets that have been hidden in plain sight for centuries.
You know, we always assume that to really see something clearly, you need light. The more light, the better. But what if, for some of the world's greatest masterpieces, the exact opposite is true?
I mean, what if the bright lights of a museum gallery are actually concealing a deeper story? A story that artists intentionally buried, just waiting for the right moment and the right kind of light to finally be told.
And we're talking about way more than just a few hidden symbols. We're talking about entire messages encoded right into the very fabric of the canvas.
Just imagine walking past a painting your whole life, never even realizing there are entire figures and objects hidden right there in front of you, like ghosts on the canvas that our eyes just pass right over.
All of this only comes to life when the lights go out. This is the story of art that was literally designed to keep its secrets. Well, until now. So, the first big question has to be, why? Why would an artist go to all the trouble of painting something only to hide it?
Well, throughout history, artists weren't always the free creative spirits we imagine them to be. A lot of the time, they were working under immense pressure. You had religious institutions, powerful political rulers, even super strict social norms dictating what was okay to paint and what was absolutely forbidden.
But great artists are innovators, right? They didn't just give in and keep quiet. Instead, they came up with this brilliant workaround. They learned to hide their true intentions, their controversial ideas, or even just their original sketches, not in words, but within the very layers of their paintings.
And this is the central idea here. A painting stopped being just a single image. It became a code. It was a complex, layered message where the surface told one story, the safe story, while a totally different truth was buried just beneath, completely invisible to the naked eye.
For centuries, these codes stayed locked away. But then, technology caught up, and it gave us a new kind of light to finally see in the dark.
So, in the 20th century, art historians and scientists started using these new tools to look at paintings. They weren't just looking at the art anymore, they were looking through it. Technologies like ultraviolet and infrared light can actually penetrate the top layers of varnish and paint, revealing whatever is underneath. And the difference this makes is just dramatic. In the normal light of a museum, you see the final product, the polished, approved version of the painting. But when you switch to UV light in a dark room, suddenly you're seeing the artist's original thoughts, their hidden first drafts, and all the changes they were probably forced to make.
The process itself is like something out of a movie. Imagine a masterpiece you've seen 100 times. The gallery lights dim to black, then this new kind of strange light is shined on it, and all of a sudden, these ghostly images and forgotten symbols start to bleed through the surface. The painting starts telling a completely new story.
And this isn't just a theory. We have some incredible concrete examples, especially from the masters of the Renaissance, like Leonardo da Vinci himself. Researchers studying works from Da Vinci and his students have found some stunning stuff. Underneath the final, accepted poses of figures, they've found earlier, more dynamic sketches. They've found philosophical and religious symbols that were clearly painted over later, most likely because of pressure from the church. Even the expressions on people's faces were sometimes changed from the first draft to that final, polished portrait.
So here's the crucial point. The final painting we see wasn't a lie. Not exactly, but it also wasn't the whole truth. It was a safe version, edited for public consumption, while the artist's raw, unfiltered vision was preserved in a hidden layer.
This all leads to a really fascinating thought. Maybe these paintings are behaving exactly as the artists intended all along.
I mean, could it be that the artists actually knew this would happen? Did they intentionally use materials that would react differently over time or under specific kinds of light? Were they essentially creating a time capsule of their true work?
The evidence suggests that in a lot of cases, yes, they did. We have to remember that Renaissance artists weren't just painters. They were basically scientists. They were like early chemists mixing their own pigments. They were masters of their materials, and they had a deep understanding of how light and time and different substances all worked together.
They weren't just creating an image for the person standing right there. They were creating an artifact designed to survive for centuries, one that might only reveal its full story to a future generation, a generation with the right tools to see it. You could say they were painting for time itself.
Which leaves us with this one last powerful question. What if the true purpose of some art isn't just to be seen, but to be slowly, carefully discovered over time? Maybe the problem was never the painting, but simply the light we were using to look at it. And it makes you wonder, what other secrets are still out there, just waiting in the dark?